7 presents 40 Years a Champion.
I had come back to Seattle. I had worked for CBS for a year. And I was at a dinner. It was a big dinner they used to have every year. And Sam Schulman was chasing me around the room trying to convince me to take the job at the Sonics. So I did. And I said, but there's a couple of things. Okay, the first thing was they had a trade in the works for Fred Brown. And I blocked it. I told him, no, we can't do it. I said, it wasn't comparable. You know, that trade was not a good trade, and we'd be giving up too much. So Sam said, fine, whatever you want to do. I said, okay. So we blocked that trade. Then I made the other trade for Tom Burleson, for Marvin Webster, and I made them, we gave them, I forget what it was, a 4th-round pick.
Wilkerson was in there.
Yeah, Wilkerson, Bobby Wilkerson. Yeah. And I got Paul, and I got
Willie Wise.
Willie Wise. Right, that's right. And I said, these guys will give us experience. Okay, they'll help our bench because we didn't, you know, we were too young. So we got that going. And then when the draft, coach was getting a little weak-kneed about selecting Jack. And I said, no. I said, hey, let me tell you something. Because I was at Kansas City. He didn't even know it, you know. And I watched him play. And I said, we're getting a guy that's going to give us double-figure rebounds, double-figure points. And I said, and if he gets to the foul line, he's going to make 8 out of 10, you know. And so you know, Sam went along with me. I mean, he really let me do all that. Then I picked up Gus. I agreed to San Francisco, didn't want to pay his deferred income. And so I said, how much was it? And when I found out how much it was, I said, we make the deal. And then I told Sam. but you know, everything just went together. And these guys supported one another, you know. Wally also. We got Wally. I got Wally and JJ from Portland.
That's right. They had
all
as
of a sudden
champions.
our bench now had guys who could come in and contribute.
Did you guys realize the kind of chemistry when you were first here? Did it take some time during the course of the season to figure out what it was that he already saw? That chemistry that you guys had?
I'll just say that I thought Lenny put together a wonderful mix of young players with some veterans. I mean, Fred and JJ and Paul had been around for a while, and this was that first year before he went to won the championship. He had Dick Snyder and Dennis Autry after that, and we had, you know, Gus and DJ and I and Wally. We're trying to establish our careers, and I just remember it was always very competitive practices. I thought I don't know if I've ever been in a team that got better as much in their practices as we have. We had guys stepping in every day and going at each other and trying to get better.
It was better, but things weren't good before he came. we were bad. And he came, and I started, and he said, I want you to go down and then come back up. I said, right on, you know, because when I started, it wasn't good at all, you know. So when I came back up, it was outstanding, and we just played so much better, and we did so good, you know. He was outstanding.
Can I talk about that first meeting? Because you referenced it earlier today in Kansas City. We're all sitting around, we're 5-17, terrible record, but we're getting killed. It's not just we've got a bad record, we're not in games. And like, looked at the players in the room and said, I got confidence in you guys. You guys are good players. We're going to have a good team. Like, you know what I'm saying? Is there somebody else behind us? You know, you're talking to us, but he gave us confidence in a way that we didn't think we were any good, but he changed that.
You were the veteran. You were the leader on that team. What did you see in this group?
Not much. Not much at
Really?
all. Yeah, it was very difficult trying to get them to get up to speed on everything. It was hard.
But, you know, before he goes on, let me tell you something. You know, he was starting. Okay?
Yeah.
He and Slick. And so I said, I talked with Fred. I said, hey, you could give us a dimension off the bench no other team has. He probably don't remember.
No, it's true.
That's true. Me and you, we started.
It's true.
Yeah.
How tough was that?
Yeah.
No, it was easy because Lenny and I had the conversation, and it made all the sense in the world to me because we had a young Gus Williams and a young Dennis Johnson, and those guys could get out there. And a young Lonnie Shelton, because we talked about
that's
it,
exactly
and we
right.
said, let those guys get out
exactly
there
right.
and tire them out, and then we come in.
And we come in and we get it done.
You were tricking people way back then. You were tricking them way back then.
And I would have the ball,
Right.
and I would want to shoot, and he would grab it from me and say, you'll never shoot again.
Everybody knew their jobs.
Yes.
Everybody knew their responsibilities.
It was outstanding.
And that's another beauty that Lenny had. And remember this. Everybody on our team knew everybody's assignment and where they were supposed to be on what cadence that we did it. So if there was a mishaps, then we knew what was supposed to be there, and everybody would just fall right in the blaze.
Can I say we really talk well on defense? Gus and Fred.
Yeah.
Hill.
Here, Gus.
Hill. They talk so clearly.
Is that right?
Defensive possession.
Come on in here, Gus.
No. It was team defense. That's what you did.
You're communicating.
It was communication on defense, right?
Well, first of all, anything Fred was saying, take with a grain of salt, okay? But I've been listening to you guys. It's been great. I think the thing that really separates us from most teams, and I don't know if there was a scientific study of this, but if you like your teammates or you have certain bond with your teammates, does that necessarily mean, does that translate to winning? I don't know, but it didn't hurt us. That's all I can say.
And when you look at you come back all the time. You guys have been back, stayed, business, all the rest. You also liked where you were. You liked to come back to this city because regardless of whatever else you guys did in your careers, you wore those colors and it had Seattle on the front. And that still means something, I assume, to all of you guys.
Absolutely. I mean, this is our community. This is what we did. And, the fans were outpouring to us, and we wanted to outpour back to them, the love.
When you look back, does it seem like it's been 40 years? Really?
My head.
The joints, yeah. Mine says no.
Jack?
Yeah, there's some moments when it's 40 years, but what did it take us? Hour, 2 hours to get right back to where we were 40 years ago. What we're doing now, we did all the time, is jabbing each other.
I think it started
committed to each other whenever.
I think it started right away when we said hi, right?
Yeah,
You
pretty
hugged
close.
Each other, right?
So
I was the one that was holding back. Once again, I was leading the way for the team.
you were
That's what you
passing.
do.
You were passing
It's
again.
what you do. Passing again.
Do you have any clips of that, Fred passing?
Not many. So
Well, do what you do best.
last play, by the way, we love the wide collars and the big hair. Last play of the game clock winds down. You throw the ball up in the rafters. What's the thought on the bench and on the floor?
First of all, that was a bad move. If I knew how important and valuable
That value
I would have never threw it out like
You
that.
never saw it again.
No.
So what's it feel like on the floor to win a championship? You're the best in the game at that moment. What's that feel like?
Remember, we were talking, we knew we had it going down the stretch. We knew we had broke their hearts and said, all we got to do is stay the course. And we just executed. We executed, we made them make some turnovers, and it was easy. You remember we were sitting there, we were talking, said, we got them.
Yeah,
We got them.
because we thought we would win the year before also. And this time it was just outstanding that we did it.
I was going to say, did that set the table?
Well,
What you did the year before?
Yeah, that set the table. But what was special this year is that we lost the first game. Everybody
did.
forgets that.
Yeah.
And, everybody started getting nervous. But we as a team said, we're not going to get nervous. We're going to win the next one.
Well, how about we were down 3-2 in Phoenix in the Western Conference Finals?
That's true.
Yeah, we were.
What's her name saying the national anthem? Paul Westfall's mom saying the
Right.
national anthem. And what'd you say? No way.
So we knew, and we came out there and won 4 straight. You know, beat them on their court. And of course that night, we wish we were in Seattle to be a part of the celebration, but it was okay because we knew we were going home as the winner.
When you got,
Steve, for me, added incentive was that summer after we lost in '78. That was the worst summer. Just going back and I was back home in New York and people was talking, you should have won this. That was a terrible. So that was added incentive, and we just couldn't wait. So we didn't think about playoffs. Our mindset coming back that next year, we'll be in the championship again. It was just a big plus that it was against the Bullets to revenge it. So it's sweet.
what's interesting here is, having done what I've done with the Seahawks all these years, when we go to the Super Bowl, I'm hearing the same stories. The mindset of players from the year before going into that championship year, they felt exactly the same way, that this is our year. We know what now it takes to get back there. Did he ever raise his voice to you guys? Did he ever scream at you guys, yell at you guys?
He did say "gosh darn" one time.
Did he really?
Oh, he's serious.
It was more. He gets stern.
Yeah?
Yeah, but it wasn't raising his voice.
No, it was that tone. You know, it was like.
We didn't get it much though. We didn't get it.
Yeah.
Okay, we get it.
raised his voice.
We got it.
All the time.
39 on the
raised
bench.
his
Oh, yeah?
39.
If it wasn't for him, we wouldn't be good.
And so the thing was, you don't have to raise
39
your
would
voice
say.
that much, but you were going to come sit next to me, and we were going to talk about it. So, I mean, you know, I mean, I knew they knew exactly what I was talking about.
Yeah.
So we prepared, like Jack was saying. Our practices, we worked on stuff. Come on, you know, you talk about if we were going to trap or rotate or whatever. Everybody knew what they were supposed to do.
I mean, our practices, Steve, I'm telling you, Gus and I, we would enter the pass into these guys, Lonnie and Paul, or Jack or Dennis or somebody. I mean, these guys were going at it. Our best games were in practice at 12 o'clock. They were just beating the crap out of each other. So we knew, like, man. Remember we used to stand out there saying, these guys crazy or what?
Well, and then you had some big enforcers, these guys back here too, that would come in and hammer on guys. What about the guys that are no longer with us, the brothers that played with you that helped win that championship? I mean, none of us are getting any younger, and we look back after 40 years, and some of those, the JJs and the Lonnies and those guys that aren't here. What are some thoughts about those guys?
Well, JJ, I played with him, so I knew what his abilities were. And I would tell our guys, Gus and Fred and Dennis, if JJ gets the ball, take off, because he'll find you. He could handle it, and he did, you know. And you know, I remember putting JJ on Bobby Dandridge.
Right.
Bobby Dandridge was crying because Jay
Crying foul all the time.
Right.
You know, I tell the story. This is a true story for me. I tell the story that
For the rest of
when
us?
I was no. You know, guards that would used to be, you know, getting close to me because I come in, I would, you know, had to make a couple of baskets in our rotations or whatever. I would run a guard off of Paul that was close to me, dogging me. He'd knock him down, and then he'd bend over with a big smile and help him up. I run him off of Lonnie Shelton because I said, okay, I fix this. Run him off of Lonnie. Lonnie knock you down. He dare you to get up. He dare you to get up. So the guy said, Fred, what are you doing, man? I said, well, get back. You know, true story.
It's great as a guard to have the guys that he was saying, because they try to put that pressure defense on you, and you got your pick of the litter. You got Jackson, Lonnie, Paul, Dennis, and those guys, instead of putting up and they looking behind you like, who's coming, and it makes your job a lot easier.
And I'm glad you brought that up. You guys were the best defensive team in the NBA that season.
No one knows that.
The best defensive team.
Help! Not DJ. I didn't mention DJ.
That was just as important as the shots that he made and the ball handling of Gus, the defense that you played.
All of that is so important. And when you put a team together, you want to make sure you have that. And we were very fortunate, because Marvin Webster, who was with us, signed with the Knicks, and they had to give compensation. And they wanted to give me Bob McAdoo, and I said no. I wanted Lonnie Shelton, because I had seen him play at Oregon, and I knew what he could do, And so that just added to our defense. And we got these guys that came to protect, to set good screens. I mean, when you ran off a screen, you knew it. Not like today, But
transition was such a big part of our offense. Right. And you talked about JJ being able to handle it. We had three guys that we got the rebound. We turned around and looked, and any of those three guys you could hit, and it was a fast break. So getting defensive stops were really a key, not just for us as a defensive team, but offensively.
I have monopolized you guys too much, but the last question, and I just want to, anybody that wants to take a couple of shots at it, anybody, yeah, Tom.
The trophy, what happened?
What
happened? We won the game, won the series, won the championship. We got the trophy. We all went to the locker room. Everybody's drinking champagne, beers. Everybody dresses, leaves. I'm starting to walk out. I'm the only one left. The trophy's there. And I said, I better take this so the janitor doesn't get it. That's what happened.
That's what happened. That's the story, and you're sticking to it.
Fred, you help me with the storytelling here?
Before I let you guys go, and we will see you all tonight, and really, on behalf of everybody who's a fan and a friend that we've known each other for 40 years, thank you guys for all coming back. What does this mean to you guys to come back together? I know you don't see each other all the time, but Dick, come on in here too. What does this mean for you guys to come back and be together? Who knows how many more times you get to celebrate like this? What's that mean?
We're young again.
For just a few hours.
People don't change that much, like 40 years ago. Wally, Fred, everybody was the same. The inflection, our thought patterns, and so you slide right into it again, and you're comfortable, your family, you're young again.
Yeah, you mentioned that up here, family.
It's family. It's family for us, and it means the world, and it's like we never change when we get together. We're always, communicating, feeling good about each other, and that'll never go away. That'll never go away. It's a blessing, really. It's a blessing, and I'm very pleased, to know some of these guys.
some of these guys. Those were truly fabulous memories. Thanks so much for being with us, helping us celebrate 40 years of champion, the golden age of Supersonics basketball. If you'd like to learn more about the Sonics 40th anniversary, just head to KIRO7.com. Meantime, I'm Steve Raible. Thanks so much for being with us.
Thank you for watching this Supersonics special, celebrating Seattle's one and only NBA championship.